What's up, nerds? It's McKinley, and I forgot my ring light today. So I did my makeup for no reason. You can't even see it because I'm not well lit. But that's fine. Whatever. Today I'm doing my wrap up for books 6 through 10 that I've read this year, and I'm at work again filming because my sister's in town, so I just can't film at home until she leaves. So here we are. I'm just gonna get right into it. I did actually organize my stuff today, so I have where I am at in my reading challenges and where each book landed for each reading challenge. So let's get into it. The first book I read was Kids of Appetite by David Arnold, and I gave it 3.5 stars, I think. If you don't know what this book is about, it's about a group of kids. Not really kids because one of them's an adult, but it starts with this kid who has Mobius syndrome, which is a facial paralyzation, and his dad had passed away, and his mom is seeing someone new, and he ends up running out of the house, and he takes his dad's ashes with him, and in the urn there's like a list of things, like places that his dad wanted to have his ashes spread, and he meets up with this ragtag group of kids, but there is one adult, who end up helping him on his mission to spread these ashes. And the other point of view we get is from a girl who lives with an abusive uncle, and she kind of ran away too, and the same group of people helped her. And then there's two guys who escaped from the Congo, and a little girl who was their foster sister. So yeah, it sounds really more confusing than it is, but it's mostly it's really a mystery, and I don't want to give away what the mystery is even solving, because I feel like that's not in the description. But it's a really weird book. I think that's why I didn't rate it higher, but it's good. I enjoyed it. It just took me a really long time to get through it, just because I wasn't really sure what I was reading. But it is diverse, and Mobius syndrome, I looked it up after I read the book too, and it's just it's an interesting syndrome. I suggest you look it up because it does help you picture him better on what the other characters are looking at with his face paralyzation. But yeah, it's an interesting story. I would recommend you read it, maybe if you liked his other book, Mosquitoland, which I did, but it's weird. It's weird. I did not do a good wrap-up of that at all, because I don't even know how to explain that book. But anywho, here's where it landed on my reading challenges. On my poop sugar challenge. It was a book with a subtitle because it has a subtitle. And I'll tell you what the subtitle is when I look it up right now. The subtitle is They Lived and They Laughed and They Saw That It Was Good. So it's Kids of Appetite, and then it's and then that's the subtitle. And I had to use it for that because I couldn't think of another time that I was going to actually find a book with a subtitle. So it works out nicely. For my diversity bingo, it was a person of color on the cover. There are 2 people of color on the cover. It didn't count for anything for my Read Harder challenge or the Queer 52 challenge. The next book I read was Not If I See You First by Erik Lindstrom, I think is how you say it. This book is about a blind girl whose dad died, and now her aunt and uncle moved to where she is to help raise her so she wouldn't have to be confused and start over at a new school because it's hard for her to learn. It's a romance, but I can't tell you who the romance is with. So yeah. But it was really interesting to read from a blind person's point of view. Oh, did I mention she's blind? I think I did. And she's a runner. It's a very good book. I enjoyed it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars. There's not much else to say. You really have to read it to get what the book is about. But here's where it fell on my reading challenges. For Pop Sugar, it was a book by or about a person with disability. It's about someone who is blind. For Diversity Bingo, it's a visually impaired main character. For Read Harder, it was read a debut novel. It was Eric Lindstrom's first book. He since has released another book, or he's about to. And then for Queer 52, it doesn't count for anything. Next, I read The Star-Touched Queen. And I don't know why. This is not my type of book. I am really a contemporary girl, if you're new here. I do read the fantasies too, but I essentially read this to check off a box on Diversity Bingo. But if you like The Wrath of the Dawn, you'll like it. But it's about a girl who is having an arranged marriage, and then she ends up going off with her husband, and there's all these different worlds and strings and threads, and I was very confused pretty much the whole time. Apparently it's a Hades and Persephone retelling. I know nothing about Hades and Persephone, so I couldn't attest to that. But I do know that it was fairly enjoyable. It's just so not my type of book at all. But so I gave it 2.5 stars, just right down the middle, because it's just not the type of book that I normally pick up. The cover is beautiful. And I can say that I really like the author because I saw her at YALLFest and they were giving out ARCs for the second book, and she stood on the sidewalk and signed everybody's ARC. And I thought that was awesome. So I don't know if that helps you decide whether you want to read it or not. But I think if you like The Wrath of the Dawn, you will like this book. Anywho, here's where it fell on my reading challenges. For the Pop Sugar Challenge, it's a book based on mythology. For Diversity Bingo, it's a a West Asian setting because it takes place in like a fantasy type India. Maybe I'm reaching, I don't know, but I counted it anyway. For the Read Harder Challenge, right now I have it as a person of color goes on a spiritual journey, which might be a stretch, so I might change that. But she does go on a type of mental journey, so I don't know. And then nothing, it didn't count for Queer 52. I have yet to read one that counts for it, to be honest. That's like my favorite. I don't know. The fourth book for this wrap up is Run by Cody Keplinger, and this is about two girls who essentially run away from home because Bo, one of the main girls, is running from the law, essentially. I can't tell you why, because that's part of the mystery. And the other girl runs with her. Why can I never remember character names? And they run off together, and it's just the story told from Agnes's point of view. It's basically everything leading up to when they're running away. And from Bo's point of view, it's their trip running away. And Agnes is not blind, but she's legally blind, but she can see a little. She's got whatever Cody Keplinger has. I don't remember what she has. I don't remember what it's called. But she's basically losing her eyesight slowly, but she can't really see. So she does walk with a cane. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. The main character is Bo is bisexual, and it's just essentially a really great story about friendship, and I liked it a lot. I gave it 4.5 stars. I didn't really like the other book I read by Cody Keplinger, which was The Duff. I wasn't a huge fan, so this was a nice surprise. If you like contemporaries that have like deeper topics, you would probably like this book. Where it fell for my reading challenges is for Pop Sugar. It's a book with a difficult topic. There's abuse involved, there's alcoholism involved, there's drugs involved, and it's pretty heavy. For Diversity Bingo, it was a bisexual main character, although that is not the plot of the book. It is not a romance at all. So, but she is bisexual, written on the page. And its own voices as well. It didn't count for any of the other two challenges. The last book I have in this wrap-up is Blue Screen by Dan Wells, which is a sci-fi book about a future, not too far off future, Los Angeles. It's 2050, where there's a, like a computer, like Ginny is what it's called, DJINNI, in your brain, like, we all know how this is going to go. Just from me to you, never let someone install a computer in your brain. It is not going to go well. But if you like books like Brain Jack, Ready Player One, I didn't really like Feed, but if you liked Feed, you'd probably like this. And I've also heard it compared to Under the Never Sky, which I haven't read, but you'll probably like this. But it's basically like an espionage type thing where they're trying to bring down someone who created Blue Screen, which is a like computer software that goes in the Ginny and gets you high, but they're using it to try and control people. And it's like this group of kids who are trying to bring those people down, and it's really very diverse. The main character is Mexican, which you can see on the cover. There's a black main character. I think there's an Indian main character. One of them is a lesbian, but it's not stated in the book. I only know because I met the author and I asked, are there any LGBT characters? And he told me. I think it's going to be addressed in the next book. But if you like those trippy sci-fi books that are just going to mess you up and probably could happen, because you know sooner rather than later people are going to let the government or computer people install shit in their brains. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not. I don't care how wicked awesome the graphics will be. Just don't do it. So, but this is going to be a trilogy. But I feel like if you like those espionage, science fiction type books, you will like it. I gave it 4 stars. And I'm not usually a sci-fi person, but that shit had me messed up. And reading challenge check-in for Pop Sugar. I count it as a book I bought on a trip because I bought it when I went to SuperCon. For the Diversity Bingo, main character of color in science fiction, fantasy. Several of the main characters are people of color. And then it didn't count for the other 2. So, yeah. That's my wrap up for books 6 through 10. I feel like this was a horrible mess. So hopefully when I edit this, I can make it make sense. And I will see you guys next time. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You can subscribe here. You can watch my last video here. And end screens are really cool, aren't they? I'll see you guys soon. Bye!